Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing a review of an action film from South Korea, Korean language English subs, released in the year 2005, directed by Ji-Woon, and this film is called A Bittersweet Life. And the story to A Bittersweet Life is as follows. Cool-headed perfectionist Sun Woo has earned the trust of his boss by adeptly managing an upscale restaurant. When his boss suspects his young lover of an affair, he orders Sun Woo to kill her if she has betrayed him. When Sun Woo catches her with her secret lover, he surprisingly lets them go. Soon, his boss's gang declares an all-out war. So the movie starts off with Sun Woo, who is an enforcer for the local mob boss, Mr. Kang. Mr. Kang treats Sun Woo as his son. He is the only one he really trusts within the family, and he basically confides in him with all of his personal matters. So one day, Mr. Kang comes up to Sun Woo, and he says that he has suspicions that his very young lover is having an affair on him. So he orders Sun Woo to follow her for 3 days. If there's any evidence to suggest that there is an affair going on, he wants him to take care of it by terminating both his lover and the person that she's having an affair with. So Sun Woo agrees to this, and this is where he starts to get into the life of Mr. Kang's lover. And this is where he starts to get a lot of compassion for her because she's very young, very sweet and gentle. So there is one night where it is apparent that she is having an affair. He confronts both Mr. Kang's lover and the secret lover, and instead of killing them, he decides to let them go. As long as they promise never to see each other again. So, reluctantly, she agrees to this and he lets them go. This infuriates Mr. Kang. He sees that Sun Woo has broken his trust. He's failed to follow orders. So, as a result of that, Mr. Kang has ordered his men to take care of Sun Woo. So, Sun Woo doesn't see anything wrong with what he's done, and he sees that Mr. Kang has betrayed his trust. So Mr. Sun Woo has basically taken it upon himself to single-handedly get revenge upon Mr. Kang. So Mr. Kang and Sun Woo have gone to war, and who comes out of this in the end, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on A Bittersweet Life. The reason why I enjoyed this movie so much is that it does separate itself from the generic action film, and it does make a shadow of its own. Now, the reason why it does this is because you invest so much time in the characters. The characters are so well drawn out. The script is fascinating. I thought, although the action sequences aren't happening, it's still a very interesting film. So it does bill itself as an action movie, but I'd say it's more of a drama slash romance slash tragedy, a Shakespearean tragic love story, as opposed to a straight out action film. So it is a drama with action elements in it, which makes it really convincing as far as an overall piece is concerned. Now, a lot of generic Hollywood action films, it's all about the action. You're waiting for the action, and it's basically just mindless sort of fun. The explosions, you've got these characters who have fuzzy faces in the background and basically cannon fodder, and it's all about entertainment. Whereas in this movie, Ji-Woon never loses sight of the entertainment value. It's a very entertaining film. When the action happens, it's very fast, in your face, and surprisingly very brutal. The choreography is amazing. I thought it really does put you in the shoes of these characters. There's a lot of brutal punching, and you feel every punch. It's just really matter of fact, and Ji-Woon has really captured what an action film should all be about. There's slight exaggerations, it's slightly far-fetched, out of the realms of possibility, but you have to have a suspension of disbelief, basically. It's there to enjoy it. But the thing that separates itself is that overall, it's a much more convincing approach. The characters, you invest a lot of time in them. You feel sorry for them, especially Sun Woo, their main character, the enforcer. You feel that he is a cold-hearted, brutal man. But then when he starts to become exposed to this young girl, you see that he has compassion. So your first impression of Sun Woo is a lot different to what you actually feel as the movie progresses. He becomes more and more likable as the movie goes on, and then you start to feel so much sympathy for him that when the action starts happening, there's a lot more behind the action sequences, because there is a lot more behind these people. They aren't just people that you want to see slaughtered. These are people that feel real and that you want to see them get through these action sequences. And so that, to me, combines to make a very it's a different sort of feeling to the action sequences. It's not just mindless fun. It's something with a little bit of heart to it. It is a movie that is very bittersweet. You've got, on one hand, he does a good thing, but then the moral of the overall film is that, just because you do a good thing, it doesn't mean you're going to have good rewards. It's basically a tragedy in the fact that he does a good thing, but he has the ramifications of that. There's basically his family at the start of the film with Mr. Kang, although they're criminals, you felt a strong sense of family within all of them. So when Mr. Kang goes against Sun Ho and Sun Woo goes against Mr. Kang, you feel a lot of bitterness between them and a lot of heartbreak in that area. And then so you've got a lot of relationships throughout the film that make it just really enthralling, and that although the action sequences don't take place until later in the film, you're still very interested because the story is the thing that sucks you in. And when the action sequences happen, you keep feeling to yourself that it's a drama as opposed to an action film. But having said that, it still has the entertainment of an action movie. I thought the ending was fantastic. I thought it was a really, really tragic ending. I thought the quote right at the end of the film just blew me away. It was icing on the cake. I thought the script was some of the best writing I have ever seen. It just made you really think, and it's just a very strange experience. You know, it is a drama. It's a love story. The platonic love between Sun Woo and Mr. Kang's lover. I thought the platonic love between those two really developed the film, and it really does. It's very relevant to the overall, the very last scene of the film and the last scene of dialogue. It has a strong relevance to the platonic love between Sun Woo and this lover. So I thought it was a beautiful film, but at the same time, it was a really depressing and tragic film. Only Ji-Woon Kim could have made a film like this. It works on so many levels. I thought the cinematography was excellent, but the soundtrack is what really got me. I thought it takes a very good director to realize what kind of soundtrack goes well with what particular scenes. So not only does Ji-Woon Kim have a strong sense of visuals, he has a strong sense of hearing. He just has an appropriate soundtrack for each and every scene that contributes to a really heavy feeling. So I really like this film. I enjoyed it. I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to enjoy it just as much as I did, and so it is going to come highly, highly recommended. So overall, for A Bittersweet Life, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I thought it was very entertaining, but at the same time, very thought-provoking and very emotional as well. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.